So, what's the real difference between good writing and great writing? Sometimes it all boils down to just a single word. Today, we're going to unlock the power of one special kind of word that can totally change how you connect your ideas. Let me show you what I mean.
Okay, take a look here. The before version, it's fine, but it feels kind of choppy, right? Disconnected. But the after version, it's smooth, it's logical, it's so much clearer. So what's the magic ingredient? It's that one little word, therefore. How is that one word doing so much heavy lifting?
To get what's happening, we've got to look at the building blocks. The secret weapon we just saw is called an adverb. And look, you've probably been using them your whole life without even thinking about it. But as we're about to see, they have some pretty surprising hidden talents. So at its heart, what even is an adverb? Well, it's a word that adds detail. It paints a clearer picture. It can describe an action or pump up the intensity of a description. It can even modify another adverb. Think of them as the words that add all the color and flavor to our language. So how do you spot an adverb out in the wild? Well, most of the time, you just have to ask 3 simple questions. Let's break down these 3 main jobs they have. That's pretty much it. How, when, or where. If a word is answering one of these questions about something that's happening, odds are it's an adverb just doing its thing. Let's go see some in action. Okay, look at this. Stacy didn't just walk. She walked carefully. See that? That one word, carefully, instantly tells us how she did it. It adds a whole new layer of meaning with just one word. And here, we get an answer to a different question. When did he decorate the cake? He did it later. This little adverb of time pins down the sequence of events for us. It's all about the timing. And to round out our trio, where were the party poppers? Well, they were everywhere. This adverb tells us about the place, the location. So there's your foundation. Adverbs tell us how, when, and where. But some adverbs are way more ambitious than that. All right, this is where it gets really interesting. This is where adverbs go from being simple little descriptive words to being these powerful super connectors. These are the words that really do the heavy lifting in our writing, just like that word therefore we saw at the very beginning. Yeah, so while most adverbs are perfectly happy just modifying a single word, these specialists, they have a much bigger mission. They don't just add a little detail here and there, they build bridges between entire ideas, creating this logical flow. Basically, a conjunctive adverb is like a signpost for your reader. It tells them exactly what's coming next. It clearly signals the relationship between one thought and the next one, whether it's a contrast, a result, or something else. And here are some of the most common ones. Think of this as your new toolkit for leveling up your writing. Words like however signal a twist is coming. Therefore shows a result. Meanwhile, tells you 2 things are happening at once. Each one has its own very specific, very important job. Now, with great power comes, well, punctuation. And using these powerful adverbs correctly can feel a little bit like a puzzle, but honestly, there are really just 2 simple patterns you need to get down. That's it. Seriously, you're either using the adverb to stitch 2 full sentences together, or you're using it to kind of interrupt the flow within a single sentence, and each pattern has its own super clear rule. Let's look at these 2 rules side by side. Okay, on the left, nevertheless is joining 2 complete sentences. So notice the punctuation, you get a semicolon before it and a comma after it. That's rule 1. Now on the right, however, is just interrupting the sentence. It's not connecting 2 separate ones. So it gets trapped by commas on both sides. That's rule 2. Simple as that. Okay, you've seen the theory, you've got the toolkit, and you know the 2 main rules. So I think it's time to put all this new knowledge to the test. Let's go right back to that problem from the beginning. We have these 3 separate ideas about the Roby house. So how would you use one of those words from our toolkit to connect them, to make them into a single powerful statement? Go ahead, take a second. What would you do? Here's one really great way to do it. See how using the word otherwise creates this crystal clear cause and effect link? It tells us exactly why the crews can't do what they normally do. And look at that punctuation. Semicolon before, comma after. A perfect execution of rule 1. So elegant. So if you take just one thing away today, let it be this. We've moved past thinking of adverbs as just simple little descriptive words. We now see them for what they really are. They're sophisticated tools for connecting complex ideas and guiding your reader through your thoughts. So the next time you sit down to write, remember that these special adverbs don't just describe your ideas, they connect them. That's where their real power is. The only question left is, how are you going to connect yours?